we're back.
We are back. Hello, everybody. Hello, Zach. How are you?
Cold.
Zach, it seems like ages since I saw you.
I know. It's not like we didn't just have dinner 2 nights ago.
2 nights.
2 nights ago.
I am back in warm California, away from Michigan. So glad. I'm so sorry, Zach, that you have to be there in that cold snow. But
It was fun show for a year round, though.
I love the people. I love the place, everything. But man, gotta go there in a different time of the year.
It was beautiful during the summer.
Yes.
The one thing I didn't tell you, we didn't have chance to talk about, since I've been home, I've tried those Frisbees from the college.
Oh, yeah?
Fly insane.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, let's give some context. So as part of my experience there, Zach and I got a tour of Western's Engineering College building, huge facility, like massive.
Cool.
And oh my gosh, I love high-tech stuff, mind-boggling array of high-tech equipment and things like all kinds of molecular, I don't know, biology splitters and electronic things. And one of the things was a lab where they molded things, and they had engineered over and over again the perfect Frisbee for aerodynamic, stuff. And so they gave us some. I haven't tried out mine. I got 2.
It like you let it go, and like I'm not a frisbee, I don't throw them very often, but like you have to really flick that wrist to get that tight spin. Like this, I could just a little teeny guy. It just beelines to the back of my yard. My dog is obsessed.
Wow, that's cool.
Mhm.
I thoroughly enjoyed every part of my very short trip. 1 day to travel there, 2 days there, and then 1 day back. I enjoyed meeting you IRL. You said I'm exactly how I am IRL as I am on video, and you are also.
Oh yeah.
Except you're like 7 feet tall.
I'm 6'1". Okay, leave me alone.
Yeah. No, it's really. I always enjoy meeting people IRL, and making that connection. And for me, I think going back to campus after so long and meeting people, etc. For me, the most sort of emotional, gratifying moment was to walk into that computer science office and see my name on a plaque 3 times. I was like, "Oh my God, this is so cool!" I have
2, and it was 3.
Yeah. So
Yep.
I participated in the national and regional computer programming contests, and so I represented the university 3 years in a row. So that was kind of fun to see a plaque with your name on it. It's like, wow, that was a little emotional for me, but I really enjoyed meeting, and we're going to talk about all of that here today. But we got a massive sort of information-packed download today. And in keeping with the fact that now we welcome many artists also to our feed, hopefully you're watching here. We have sort of a split thing. We've got the whole crypto token business protocol, everything. And then we've got the whole art-centric update also. So there's a ton to update. I'm going to start off by apologizing that I haven't created a fancy deck or anything this time, just a very simple one. But I must tell you, this makes me really happy. I used to speak frequently at developer conferences, and hopefully I'll continue doing that in the future too. And one of the things I love to do is start off my pitch with 2 slides. The title slide, because they required you to have it. Then a slide that says about me, basically my name and how to follow me. And then done with PowerPoint, and show stuff in a code editor, in a browser, etc. Now I'm really excited because all our stuff is finally coming to fruition, and we can start showing stuff in the browser, like working, versus here's a screen mock-up of something that's going to happen. I mean, we have to go through that process, but now we can finally show. So now I'm beginning to transition this download where we can start showing stuff, which is, to me, very, 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 very exciting, and where we need to get going. So All right. I think I am ready to get going. So I should probably share my screen here. Boom. There we go. And let's go. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to season 2, episode 3 of the Vitruveo download. It is January 19th, 2024. I'm Nick Kalyani, your host for today, along with Zach. And I'm really excited to tell you about all the progress we've made in the past week. So, there are 11 topics we're going to go through. I think I counted that right. Yes, 11 topics. We're going to talk about booster sales, an update on Swapper, update on the Mexi listing, update on Wrap Vitru, DEX, a Vitru scope update. We're going to talk about academia and Vitruveo. We're going to talk about our artist grant. We're going to talk about license tokenization PR that we've got going on. We'll talk about an update for Vitru Studio, what's going on there. And finally, we'll actually launch Poet and go live with something. All right, so let's start at the top with our booster sales. We've had a good run here. We are at 1.2 million. So thank you to everyone. There's a lot of new people entering the ecosystem, and I'm really appreciative that they are seeing the value proposition and understanding our vision. So this is great. So we now have $1,205,070, which we have raised for ongoing operating capital. 7,736 boosters, 504 early birds. So I love that we are making a good progress, and I can see us accelerating and moving forward with our goals. So thank you for your amazing support. We are going to start adding soon here the numbers that come from some of the SAFT investors, and I'll talk about that. And this number will then start going up, and it'll be booster sales plus additional capital update is what it will become. But right now it's still pure booster sales, but we're going to transition to a cumulative update very, very soon. All right, next topic. Let's talk about Swapper. So I just, before we started this, we kind of deactivated it. It was supposed to be deactivated a couple days ago, but we gave people some grace time for that. And now the Swapper process is complete. Fantastic stats to report to. Here we go. 3,820 wallets sealed. That's 21.5% of 17,759 wallets total. 2.45 million Vitru swapped. That is an amazing number. And 4.89 million Vitro airdropped as a result. The average went up. So last week, the average was around a little between 25 and 27, and now it's 30% Vitro was swapped. So of the remaining 13,830 wallets, I believe that my math is right there. Yeah, I think so. It's close there. Will now be swapped at 50%, which will bring 6.7 million Vitru back to the treasury. And guess what, folks? The total is 9.16 million Vitru back to the treasury. That is a fantastic outcome for this program, because we had targeted 10 million, and this is it. This is organically what has happened, and I'm very, very grateful and thankful. This has worked stupendously. We are now able to rebalance our cap table, and that's 9 million back in the treasury that's available for investors and other purposes. Well, primarily investors. So that was the result of it. A fantastic outcome. Thanks to everyone. Now that the wallets that were sealed, they already got their airdrops for both Vitro and Vitru. But now we're going to start very shortly the process of airdropping to everybody else. And I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit. But again, thank you. Thank you so much for this. Now, I understand that there are still a number of folks who need something or the other done to their wallet, whether it's a validator that has to have a split done or something like that. Here's the thing. We've shut off the swapper contract, but we can still do certain things, like a very small number of things, up until the point where we start doing the the core NFT airdrops. So we have a small window of time where we will still address support issues. So if you are one of the folks, especially one of the folks who've been DMing with me or whatever, I'm sorry, I've been traveling. I haven't been as responsive as I could be or should be rather. But if there are pending things, Zach and I actually sat down one afternoon while we were in Michigan and just went through a bunch of support tickets and addressed issues. So if you are one of the folks who has a pending issue, we will get it resolved. There's still a few more days, a small window of time, but we're going to get it done. All right. So this is a very good outcome, and I'm very grateful to you. All right. Next up, let's see, the cursor in the right window, is the MEXC listing. All right. So the MEXC listing is proceeding according to plan. There is one issue I have to report. Initially, sort of the listing fees and the marketing fees were going to be covered completely. We're going to be split half and half fiat and tokens. But they came back, and because of sort of the history of the project, etc., we have to essentially pay the whole thing in fiat. So that was a only capital outlay in the last week. Is we paid MEXC $30K. Now, their engineers and our engineers are in the process of helping them get a node stood up. So they are going to actually run a read-only node, basically a client, because they want the full blockchain synced on their server at any given time. So we're trying to get that done. I say trying because they're having a few issues. They are, I believe, and the engineers believe, related to firewall, open ports, things like that. So we expect within the next 24 hours or so, we will have this resolved, at which point things will proceed. Now, they have their own plan of action around what happens once that is done. So this is why you saw a little bit of variability in the date. We are going to make this happen in the month of January. We are absolutely steadfastly determined to do that. But ultimately, it rests with their team on what they say. So we are very close. It's just a matter of getting this technical issue resolved, and then moving on to sort of the business issues of marketing and promotion, and getting all of that lined up and in place. So that is the listing for Vitro, VTRO. That's what's happening on MEXC. All right. Next topic is wrapped Vitru. So this is our contract, which allows you to drop Vitru into it, and it will return for you a wrapped Vitru a token. Now, we had a security issue reported by our Senator Diogenes. Thank you very much. So he did an audit, and he found an issue, and we thought before we roll it out, it would be prudent to update it. So what I'm announcing here today, and I'd like to make sure that everyone who has done any kind of wrap with that contract, please pay attention. The current contract is at 0xFACED, blah, blah, blah. All right, that address. If you have wrapped Vitru there, please go and unwrap it. That contract is going to be around. There's no hurry. You can do it anytime you want. Please unwrap it so you get your Vitru back. The new official wVitru address is going to be the one on the bottom, C0C0A. That's the one. That's the new official one we are working with. Again, I want to my heartfelt thanks to Diogenes for reporting the issue. And again, we could have kept it and gone with it, but I thought it was more prudent once we know of a security issue. Why take the risk since we haven't really deployed it at scale yet? Better to go ahead and have, I believe the total of Vitru wrapped in there right now is about 300. So that's a small amount, and I'd rather change it right now than change it later. So here's the new address. That's what we're going to go with. All right. we will post this. So the moderation team will post this in the Discord so you can get to it. But I'll tell you the easiest way you can get to this is, let me do this for you, explorer.vitruveo.xyz. And then you go to blockchain. Let me zoom this in a little bit so you can see better. And look here on the blockchain menu on the bottom here is verified contracts. If you go to that one, you will see the very first contract right now. But please pay attention, because it might be that some other contract might come. So please pay attention to the address. All right. So it says Vitru. So this is the one that you want to go with. All right. So this is the new one. So that's the way you can get to it. You don't need to actually necessarily rely on my slide here, but the slide is also available for you. All right. So that's Vitru for you. All right. Next up, DEX. I know a lot of people are very, very interested in this topic, and I am very interested too. So as I mentioned, I believe last week, yes, we fast-tracked the DEX. We are working to get that moving as quickly as possible. And today I'm very, very pleased to report that all the DEX contracts and the application are currently working on testnet. And let's look at it. Here we go. Boom. Let's zoom in a little bit. All right. So here we have Vitruveo swap running on testnet right now. What we're going to do is keep it on testnet for a little bit. We want to run it through its paces and make sure that everything is going. And what we're going to do is, for everyone who participated in the swap, 3,800 of you, we're going to airdrop some test Vitru and some test tokens, etc. So you can go and try this out. You can go and create a liquidity pair, do some swaps, things like that. We want a good amount of testing to be done. So we are going to create some test tokens for you. Like you see here, there's a test token TUSDV. It's just a token we made up for testing. And then there's the wrap Vitru on testnet also. So earlier I was in a call with Prabhu and I had him create some liquidity. So, you can go create your own liquidity, etc. But I had him create some liquidity for the wrap Vitru and the TUSDV pair. So let me connect here. All right. So I have a small amount of T-Vitru. Let me actually swap. I have more of this other test token. And let's say that I want to swap to wrap Vitru. So I can choose. I think we put a high price. I think we put like 200 TUSDV. Yeah, 200 TUSDV is that. Yeah, so you can see here, 100 TUSDV gives me 0.498 Vitru. These are just total made up numbers. We're just testing. Please don't read anything into it. You should not read and interpret anything into the numbers. We are looking at the functionality of the exchange right now, because this is just engineers putting in random numbers, right? That's what it is. There's no business thought that goes into it. All right. So it tells you what the price impact will be. It'll tell you what the liquidity provider fee will be, and so on and so forth. Hit swap. It tells you to confirm the swap. The output is estimated. You'll receive blah, blah, blah based on the time. So we confirm the swap. I should probably have, I should see, where the heck is it? Where's my MetaMask? Give me a second here. In full screen mode, I think it doesn't show very well. So let me go and find it here. There it is. Oops. Sorry about that. My window. I need to get back to that window. Give me a second. Yeah, this is a bit challenging. Here we go. I have it now. All right. So the account I want is that. Confirm. Transaction submitted. Let's go back. All right. And that's done. Yeah. So we haven't, the contracts are on testnet. You can see that. Let me go here and show you. So if you go here to the blockchain verified contracts, you'll see that there's a bunch of contracts around the actual router, etc., deployed here. Let me see. There's one storage. There's probably a router one also, and so on. There's a proxy there. So These are all deployed. What we are going to do today is actually deploy the app and give you a URL for it. And like I said, we want to do these airdrop of test tokens to everyone. So we'll write up a little process for how you can create liquidity, test it out, etc. So we are very close to that. That should happen today and tomorrow. We'll get it all done, and then you can start testing out Vitro Swap. So we go through the paces and make sure everything is working before we deploy to mainnet. So this is very, very exciting for me because DEX is something that we've been waiting for a while, and I know a lot of people are keen on seeing that. Now, 1 second, time for a chai. Now, hand in hand with the DEX is the concept of Vitro staking. So we are actively working on that contract also, because once we have the DEX active and the fees start coming in, we want you to be able to have already staked and get the benefit of that. What we are going to do is hold off on doing those sealed account airdrops, the 50%, until the staking contract is live, because what we want to do is we want to auto stake those. That's the commitment I had made, and I intend to deliver on that promise. So for others, for all of you who have Vitro, it's your choice on whether to stake or not. But for the ones that are auto split the 50%, we will go ahead and do the auto staking there. All right, so that's DEX. Very exciting. As you can see, it's already sort of running. We just have to get you the test information so you can start testing it. All right, next topic. Let's go. Vitruscope update. So Vitruscope, as you know, is our flagship application that is going to be used for everything related to core NFT, managing your vesting, managing your perks, your rev share, your governance, etc. We kind of put the DEX in the front of the line, and so that went down one notch in the priority list. So we got the DEX going now, so we're moving our information back to that. It's actually pretty important for us to get that out to you very, very quickly. And when I say very, very quickly, I mean in a matter of days, because one of the first and most important contracts that's going to come with Vitruscope is the vesting contract. And we need that vesting contract in order to get the investors who are purchasing tokens using SAFT their tokens. So we're kind of need to expedite that so we can start collecting some of those funds. So we are fast tracking Vitruscope now that the DEX is at the point where it's stable and we can do some more testing with it, etc. And we are working on Vitruscope and getting that out. What that means is as soon as the vesting contract is in place, we can start doing the airdrops for all types of core NFTs. This includes the Nexus. This includes validators, benefactors, dreamers, the artists, etc. So all of these, my projection is are going to happen next week. So like I said, we are fast tracking the contract, and so it's just a matter of making sure it's tested. One of the things I have learned is when you kind of rush through some of these contracts, you make mistakes, and then you find out later, and then it's too late. So we want to be a little diligent about it and make sure we go through our testing properly. But we are ready to move forward on that very, very quickly here, because we have no choice. We absolutely need to do that. So going to move forward on that. All right, next topic is academia and Vitruveo. So as we started at the top of the hour, reporting that I went to Western Michigan University, which is my alma mater, and visited there on their invitation because I had broached the idea of sort of integrating blockchain into curriculum, into academic curriculum there. And so this was our first in-person meeting, and the goal was to lay the groundwork for what will become academic projects involving Vitruveo. We intend to use this as a model that we can then replicate with any other universities that are interested all over the world. So I'm very pleased to report that overall the meetings were very positive. We laid out the groundwork for what next steps are, which it will involve a few meetings, etc., before we come to a concrete sort of plan. These things have a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of people involved. There's a lot of regulations involved, policies involved, etc. So we can't just like, oh, let's all do this and get it going. Things move a little slowly in that realm. We want to do it well and do it cautiously. So as we make more progress, I'll report back. But I can report this for you. We are definitely moving forward. So excited about that. Really, really excited, because it's always been my goal to have Vitruveo as part of the curriculum. And when I say curriculum, I mean twofold. I mean not just the art aspect of it, but also the computer science aspect of it. I feel like there is innovation that we can deliver to the world. And I believe young students, especially in computer science, are the ones who can help us drive that innovation. So super excited about it. And you've seen some of that referenced in a white paper, etc. So some of those projects are non-trivial, and they are actually major projects and require a lot of planning, a lot of work, a lot of design, a lot of development, etc. And so I think having it as an academic project is the perfect way to move it forward. So I'm really, really excited about that. All right, next up, let's talk a little bit about license grants. Sorry, artist grants. I conflated two items there. Artist grants. So we announced last week grants for artists, and I'm very, very pleased, because this is sort of our test of grants and how we would model it. So the first one is very simple. It's called the Da Vinci grant, and we are splitting up $10,000 among in two ways. So 5 grants of $1,000 each and 10 grants of $500 each. And so these are artist projects that they have to submit as a proposal. The application is very simple. And then what we're going to do is consolidate all of those and put them to a community vote. So by the time we are ready for vote, Vitruscope will be live, and you will have your Nexus or Validator or Dreamer NFT. And part of that functionality is voting. So you will be able to vote on chain for the projects that you think are deserving of the grant. And then the funds will be dispersed. But we have a protocol for that also. We need to have the projects be according to milestones, and then funds are dispersed according to achieving milestones. If you are interested in learning more about I believe there's somewhere around 15 projects plus or minus 2 that have already been submitted. If you'd like to hear about them, Furkagiano and I are doing a Twitter space at noon. So that's 1.5 hours from now, where we'll be going through some of the projects and just talking about them, So please join us and learn about them. We also hope that that space will inspire more artists to think about the kinds of projects that they want to submit. We had only 2 requirements for the projects, and you could choose either of them. One was that there be some social good outcome out of that. That's one topic area. Another topic area is that there can be an elevation of learning in the art community. So your project helps teach things or improve things in a certain way. So I feel like a lot of artists don't understand yet the potential for these grants, because honestly, it's not just about the money, right? As it is with a lot of situations like this. If you submit a proposal, then by the mere act of submitting a proposal, you're going to get noticed. You're going to, like, for example, in the space today, we are going to talk about these proposals, right? So you're going to get noticed. And more importantly, your mission, whatever it is you're trying to achieve with your grant, is going to get noticed. Then moving on to the fact that maybe your project gets approved. Well, that comes with technical support from us, marketing support from us, any kind of business advisory support that you need, and a ton of promotion. We are going to be marketing your project quite a bit. So if you're an artist and you have not submitted a proposal for this project, I have to question why. This is a golden opportunity, and you shouldn't think about the money. You should think about the larger scope and the larger opportunity for it. Um, as an artist, and maybe as a business person, you if you wear your business hat, this is a very, very big opportunity. And I don't say that lightly, because I fully plan on taking every one of these project grants and immersively working with them personally. Fur will work with them personally, etc., and making sure that they are very, very successful. So I hope you don't wait till the last moment, and you go ahead and plan and submit your proposal in time. So that's it for artist grants. Check in on the Twitter space at noon to hear more. All right, next, let's talk about license tokenization, PR. Now, the past couple of downloads, I've spent a copious amount of time talking to you about our unique innovation in terms of license innovation. Well, we thought that the world should hear more about it. And so what we did was we wrote a nice story about it, and we did a press release about it. So let's search for Vitruveo license here and see. And you can see that there's been a lot of press about it. So we've got lots of hits on that. So really, really exciting, because people are starting to take notice. And we've got lots of different publications where people are starting to read about this. So we've got other press releases also, but this is the one that really is, I think, important from an innovation standpoint. And you can go ahead and do the same search and read it up yourself. But basically in there, we kind of outline exactly how royalties work and how we are tokenizing licenses with NFT licenses, streaming licenses, print licenses, and stock licenses. So we are really positioning what the solution we are bringing as NFT 2.0, because it is in fact what it is. It is a complete rewrite of NFTs and how we are approaching it. So I'm very, very excited, because as I go through travel, etc., I encounter so many different scenarios. Yesterday I was sitting in my Delta seat, and I saw a screen where one of the options on the screen was Spotify, right? And I tweeted right away, I fully envision a day in the future, in the near future, where you have Vitruveo artworks streaming there. Air travel is not exactly fun. It can be very stressful, and maybe you don't want to be subject to audio. You want to just look at some calming art. So imagine art streaming on every passenger seat there. That would be amazing. And we are building that. We are building the model that allows that to happen. And so I'm very, very excited about this particular press release and the play that it's getting. Make no mistake, significant booster traction is coming from people who are learning about Vitruveo via this messaging, and this is going to increase. By the way, we are ramping that up. But what we don't want to do is empty sort of marketing. We want to do meaningful marketing, where we talk about things of substance and not just hooray, we launched XYZ. We want to talk about the benefits to people because of it, especially to artists and creators around it. So expect to see more of this, and we're just going to continue to go down this path and talk about innovations as they occur. All right, next up, Vitru Studio update. So Vitru Studio is been worked on by a team in Brazil, and it's been well tested. It's still not feature complete. A large part of that is because I'm responsible for some of the requirements and I haven't completed them. So I have to keep reprioritizing things. But we're getting to the point now where we are very close to the finish line. And today what I want to do is I want to demo to you the latest update we made to it, which I absolutely love, because one of the things that is really, really important for Vitruveo is to be open, to be an open protocol, an open platform that embraces everybody in all walks of life and makes it really, really accessible, makes Web3 accessible to everyone, no matter whether you are in a developed country a developing country, or maybe you're an indigenous creator. We want to make this accessible in all forms. So let's take a look at this. I'm going to sign in here with myself. I should get a code here in my email. So let me go look that up. Any second now, I should have the code. My mailbox is too slow because I need to delete some messages. All right, let's go. There we go. It is, got the code. All right. So I showed this last week, so I'm not going to go into all the detail here. If for those of you who haven't seen it yet, let me zoom this in a bit. But we've got sort of the consignments screens going, where we can upload artworks for different scenarios. So there's the original, and then one for display scenario, exhibition, preview, etc. But that's not what I want to show here today. What I want to show you here today is our newest feature, in the spirit of keeping Vitruveo Studio very open, is localization. So we have now localized Vitruveo to a total of 5 languages. So let's look at it in Spanish to start off with. There we go. So everything is localized and works beautifully. We have a significant number of artists who are English is not their first language, and we want to make sure that this becomes supremely easy for them to use. So this is we're still getting started with it. So there's a lot of room for improvement, testing. I'm showing you material and screens that are still under development. So take it with sort of a pinch of salt there. But I'm really excited about this because for me, this is about respect. First and foremost, it's about respect and not just forcing everyone to be sort of English-centric. We need to meet people where they are. We need to recognize that language is important. You know, it can level the playing field, sort of. Like if English is not your first language, and you have to enter go through these screens, and you make a mistake, it could have an impact on your livelihood, right? Like maybe your art is not noticed as a result that you didn't check the right box or something like that. So it's quite meaningful, and we want to be respectful of artists all over the world, and we want to make sure that we give them a platform that is both easy to use, but is also one that they don't need to be constantly going to Google Translate or whatever to figure out what's going on. They should be able to work with it intuitively. So that's Vitruveo Studio for you. Very, very exciting. And we are on the fast track with that. So by next week, I think we'll have added the metadata features. We've got, by the way, we do already have, I can show you this. We already have sort of terms of use agreement. I don't think I showed you that, but yeah, so we've got some checkboxes here. We'll probably move them down here, but we wanted to make sure that people, we have the protections, the digital protections for making sure that people have authentic work, but we also wanted to put explicitly that people are saying, this is my work. It is not stolen or plagiarized. And we also wanted to make a special note of the fact that if you were created by AI, you agree very specifically in the metadata that you have said, this is created with AI. We don't want to sort of mislead anybody into buying an artwork or licensing an artwork that they thought was manually created, but is in fact AI generated. So I'm excited about these features also. And lastly, we want to make sure that they agree that you don't mint this artwork on some other blockchain and then it's licensed here also. So that is not a good thing. But we also have a legal agreement in place. So Jamelia, our in-house general counsel, created this. It's a very simple to understand and artist-oriented. So there is nothing in here that says, oh, we'll take your artwork and use it however we want. There's none of that. All it says is, when you want, you give us permission to market your artwork. When you want, take away that permission to market your artwork. That's really it. Other than that, it's a pretty straightforward and simple one. We haven't translated this yet. We will be doing that legal translations are a bit trickier because of the language involved, and they have to be very precise. So it's probably going to take us a little bit of time to get this translated perfectly into other languages. But I'm excited because we actually have this feature and the ability for artists to accept that. All right, now going on to the next topic, Poet launch. So you've heard me talk about Poet off and on. Let's take a look at it. Let's see how it works. Today, I'm very excited to actually do a live launch of Poet. So what is Poet? Poet is a proof of engagement token. So let's actually go through it. So here we go. Here is my Poet sign-in. It's poet.vitruveo.xyz. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt, because the first time I'm doing it live, right? After the second or third time, I'll get good at it. But this is the first time I'm doing it live. So what I'm going to do is sign in here as Nick at Vitruveo.xyz. Let's go ahead and sign in. And that's going to give us a code also. So hopefully we'll get that. There we go. We got it right away. I'll copy that code and paste it here. Now, I already signed into this account once. So I was able to go into my profile, into edit profile, and add my picture and all of those kinds of things. You are welcome to do that. This is now live on mainnet. So you're welcome to do it. But if you wouldn't mind, just follow with me first so you can see how to do things, and then we can get to it. All right. So now in Poet, we have the concept of an account that has received poets. So this would be anybody who attended an event of yours. Maybe you had an online workshop, or maybe you had an offline meeting. Poet is designed for anybody with an email address. It's super simple to use, but it gives folks a token that represents that they had some kind of engagement. So it doesn't have to be an event. It could be that you posted something online and everyone who interacted with that gets a poet. It could be that during a live session like this, you issued a poet. And guess what? That's exactly what I'm about to do here. During this session, I'm going to issue a live poet. That's my goal, at least. Let's see how it goes, and have you claim it. And we'll see how that works. All right. So to start off with, what you have to do is you have to be an issuer for a poet. So I'm want to be an issuer. I haven't done anything in that regard yet. So let's get going with that. So the first thing you do is you set up your issuer account with your brand, etc. So I'm just gonna stick my profile picture in here, just for this demo. All right, great. Issuer name, I'm just gonna put Nick Kalyani. Now this could be a company name or anything like that. And my website, I'm gonna put just vitruveo.xyz. All right. And we have to do some work here on the terms and conditions, but I'll go ahead and consent to it and create the issuer. So there we go. Successfully registered as an issuer. Great. Now, the next thing I want to do is create a collection. So when you create poets, you typically want to create a collection. So for example, you might have a collection for conferences. You might have a collection for online events. You might have a collection for general marketing promotions, or the idea here is Poet is about engagement, right? Proof of engagement token. So it's designed for any organization or any individual to interact with their community. They are the folks that either subscribe to them or follow them or things like that. For an artist, for example, they might create a poet for all their collectors. They might just say, "Hey, you collector, you've collected my artwork, and so here's a proof of engagement token." And maybe you can move them through, like if you've collected one, then you get a certain kind of poet. If you collected 10, you get the next level of poet. If you collected 20, you get the next level of poet. So that's kind of what this is about. So if there's, for example, an online curriculum, you could every time you complete a course, You could get a poet. So it's all about engagement. All right, so let's go ahead and create a collection here, and a collection is required. One of the things I talked to the team about is auto creating a collection, so you don't have to. So that's going to happen soon. I'm just going to put one of these photos here, blah, blah, blah. All right, create a collection. We'll call it default and save that. Okay, great. I have a collection created now. And now I can go and create a poet drop, right? So here's a poet image. I have to, when I create a poet drop, so the first two steps, I actually only did because this is the first time. You don't have to repeat them every time. Subsequent to the first time, you'll only just come and create a poet drop every time. That's what you do. All right. So let's create a poet drop for today. I got this nice little picture I made of myself using Andy Warhol style. So cool. Let's make that. And we'll call this Genesis and say, this is my Genesis poet issued live during the Vitruveo weekly download, and this was season 2, episode 3. Bam. All right, and you have to choose a collection here, so I just choose my default collection and say next. All right, now it says which blockchain. Well, we had initially designed this to be blockchain agnostic. Now we are basically just only supporting Vitruveo. So we'll make that a default also. So supply, for right now, we are limiting it to 1,000. So I'll put 1,000 there. What is the start date? Well, we'll kick it off today. Let's go. Does this have an end date? Now we'll leave it open. Unlockable content. So one of the things you can do with the poet is you can provide everyone who got issued a poet the ability to have access to certain media. So maybe it's a video. We are also adding support for PDF, etc. But right now it's video. So you can give them access to that. I don't have a special video to give right now. So I'm going to leave that unchecked. And then I'm going to hit submit. Now, what this has done has put my poet drop into a queue. Initially for the first 30 days or so, we're going to go through a review process because we want to make sure that everyone produces poets that are in good taste with the community, etc. So we're going to have our moderators on Discord have permission to go and look at these and moderate them and issue them. So what I'm going to do is I'm already set up as a moderator. I'm going to go ahead and approve my myself. And let's see, where am I? Here we go. I've approved. I'm on another screen right now. You cannot see. Give me one moment. I will go ahead and finish doing this, and then we'll be back. And okay, here we go. Genesis pending. All right. So I have now approved my airdrop, my poet, and bam, there it is. So this is now ready for anyone to claim. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy paste this link and put it in the chat here. And I think I'm going to also let's see what's the best way to do it. I'm going to ask one of our helpful moderators to put it in Discord also, so it's easier for people to get to. But there it is in the chat. You can see the link. It should be there available to everybody. But you know what I could do? I could also make it into a short link. There we go. Thank you very much for posting that. I don't know that anyone can type that in, though, because it is kind of long. So we should probably make it into a short link. So I'll do that. But for right now, let's you know what we could do? I have an idea. I will tweet it out. So give me a second here. And that might be a great way to find it for everyone to find it. One moment, coming right up. All right, there we go. I'm looking for my window here. Okay. All right. Claim your poet from today's at Vitruveo chain download. All right, now I understand it's been tweeted to my account, so I'm Tech Bubble on Twitter. You can go find me. Now I understand that you wouldn't do this, right? Because people who are not attending this download would also get this. But the idea is that you would securely share this link with folks. We are adding the ability for you to submit sort of a list of email addresses, and we will automatically email them a link and so on and so forth. So all of this essentially comes together and works. So let's see if anyone has claimed anything here. Ooh, 4 of them claimed already. Great. So let's look at this in a little more detail here. So this is actually on chain. So the best way to kind of look at it is go as an issuer, and let's look at activity, and you can see that was created. There was a screen here where I could go and look at. Give me 1 second. I could look at the on-chain link for this. So not finding it now. Where was it? Where was it? Ah, there it is. I knew it was there somewhere, conspicuous. But yeah, so now this is the Poet contract, and you can go in and you can see your transactions as they happen if you are an issuer. So yeah, so here we got 7 claimed here. That's great. So that is a live demo of Poet, and I didn't mess that up. So this was my first time ever actually doing that end to end, and I did it live, and I'm excited that it worked. So wow, 12 claim, great. So this is working really well. So thanks to all of you for participating in that, and you can see how easy it is. You can be an issuer too, and like I said, we are going to keep moderating and be very quick. Give us like 3 to 6 hours maybe at the most to approve your post, and then you can send it out. So that is Poet, and I believe that completes the agenda for today. And so now we can go on to our questions. But thank you so much. There was a ton of information to present here. I'm very, very happy to share so much progress that we've made on all fronts. So all right, so let's go. We'll remove this from here, and
people are asking about the key, the Poet key, so they can claim it.
Well, they should just go click on the link in Twitter. The link has the key. It's built in.
True.
Yeah. So the key is simply part of the link. It's easier. So the thing that has the cryptic thing at the end, that's the key. All right. So I think we can go into some questions, but first a sip of chai.
Yeah, we got some good ones today.
Actually, while you curate that, I'm gonna do one thing real quick. While I was talking, I saw my daughter call, and I want to make sure she doesn't need my attention. So give me a moment, and I will.
Here's the key for those who are asking for it. We just posted it up. So while you do that, put that up on screen.
I always want to make sure my kids are responded to immediately.
What a dad. Let's see here. All right, so
Okay, cool. She messed up the. They all know that on Friday mornings I'm kind of alive here, but everything's good, so that's good. All right, I can focus now because I was very distracted the moment I saw her call. I'm like, you probably saw me. Yeah. All right. Let's get going.
Right. See. Let's start with this one. A question on regular boosters. Is the 1.9 million Vitru pool guaranteed? Boosted accounts are eligible for their share of the 1.9 million Vitru tokens. So
Yeah, it's built in. It's a perk. It's built in into a pool. Actually, I'll show you. Give me one moment. I'm sure you did not expect this response, but why not? Let me re-add my. Okay, so right into the protocol are built perks coins. So these are the reserve perks that we have for various things, and normally you would have to have a smart contract that someone pulled regularly and had a transaction to move things over from a vault to a pool, but we automated it. We built it right into the protocol itself. So there's a vault and there's a pool, and when a rebase occurs, it goes and says how much of the perks have vested, and it transfers those into the pool, and then they're available for anyone to claim. How will you claim it? It's a feature in Vitru Scope that we will add, where you can go and say claim, and you can then claim. But remember, perks are one-time claim. Once you claim it, you're done. You cannot claim more again. Well, you have 100% of your perks available, but once you've claimed your 100%, you can't go back. So anyway, but the answer to the question is, it is guaranteed because it is part of the protocol.
Same guy commented also about super boosters because they were interested in buying a super booster. How many have been sold so far? And then please confirm that a 1 million Vitruveo will be shared between the super booster holders.
Yeah. So whatever the commitments are, they're guaranteed. So let me go and look at the booster contract. Give me 1 second. We'll look at it, and
I'm gonna guess 5. Might be more.
Honestly, I don't know exactly how to look up the difference, but let's do it together. I don't mind learning new things while on these calls. So give me a second here. I'm gonna find my screen, share it again. All right, there we go. Add to stage. All right, so I'm an explorer now. I'm gonna go to the booster contract, which I know is this one. All right, and here we go to read contract, and let's zoom in a bit. All right, so we have boosters. Okay, let's query. I guess it shouldn't really ask me to connect, but it is. Okay, so that's not the one we want, actually. We want current supply. Okay, here we go. Current supply is 7736. And what I need to know is which type of booster. All right, so give me 1 second here. We should be able to query the type of booster because the first one is a regular booster and every other kind is a super booster except for the last one, which is a nano booster. So Nexus address, get approved, get booster info. Let's try this. Token ID 1 query. Okay, here we go. So that's a booster. Yeah, okay. So how many have been minted? So that can be right. It says 56. That's not right. Yeah, looks like I need to figure out which of these functions gives the correct information. So I feel one of the things we could do is post that right on this screen, right? Like put the breakdown.
Yeah.
Maybe that would be useful. So even for here, we could also put super early birds versus early birds, and then super boosters. Okay, so this is a good thing. Let me make a note of it. and I'll tell the team about putting the super booster count on here, but that's going to take a little bit of time. Meanwhile, I'll get the information and we'll post it on Discord. Done. All right. So hopefully that addresses your issue. By the end of the day, I'll put the information on Discord, and then we'll also put it on the screen up here. All right. What's up? What's next?
All right, we got a suggestion. I think the suggestion is for all the people who actually sealed the deal and aren't just defaultly taking the 50-50. He would like the suggestion to be put out there if we can exclude those for the 0.05% Vitro mint for the Dex coins.
That's already the fact. It's not 0.5%. It's it's 0.05% of Dex fees. The only people who are eligible for it are the people who sealed and the original Uxie sacrificers. So they are the only ones who can stake in order to be eligible for that.
So, but for just to clarify, for the people who may not be paying attention right now, who are original sacrificers, would they not be eligible?
No, they will be eligible.
I think that's what they're saying is for people
so
out of the 3,000 people that did seal, and then like for the rest of the people who did not.
Yeah, the ones who did not. So I want to make sure I don't give any misinformation, right?
Right.
So there's the basic. I need to go and pull up that slide. Give me one moment, because it is important. Give me 1 second, and I'll pull up the right slide so we can talk through this with not my memory, but with details. So give me a second here. Bam. Okay. So yeah, I think I misspoke a moment ago. So this is good. I can correct myself now. Where we go? Oh, it's already sharing. Here we go. All right. So on here, you see that there's primarily two benefits, right? There's earn perks Vitruveo and 0.05% Dex fees pro rata based on staked amount. This benefit is to any Vitruveo staker, anybody. All right. This benefit, and the questioner was correct in how they had phrased it. I was incorrect. The questioner was correct. 0.5% of all Vitruveo mint tokens that are minted will be airdropped. The only folks eligible for this are the sealed people who sealed just now. So what was it? 3,800? How much was it?
Yeah, somewhere around there.
3,820 or something like that. Plus the Uxie sacrifices, which I believe was another few thousand of them. But if you stake, then you're eligible for it. But someone else who has staked will only be eligible for the Dex fees. They won't be eligible for this benefit. So I think what you're asking for is already the policy.
All right. Nick, is there a way to update the old Vitro wallets which were sacrificed from Uxie to a new wallet for extra security and still get the rev share from staking?
Airdrop's already done. So you are free to transfer because those tokens are all unlocked, right? You're free to transfer to any of the wallet, but all Uxie airdrops are complete. There are none pending.
And this is an interesting one. One general question for our gas fees being so low, even if there's a huge volume on the DEX, how will Vitro stakers make money from a DEX volume?
It's apples and bananas. The gas fees are irrelevant here. Gas fees are part of the transaction of sealing the transaction on the blockchain. The DEX fees are part of the smart contract. Like you get paid a DEX fee in the token pair. It's essentially called a liquidity token pair. So let's say that someone creates a liquidity pair A and B. There was a new token created called the AB pair. The fees are paid in that token, which represents an ownership of part of that pool. So gas fees have absolutely no bearing at all in that regard. The DEX fees are DEX fees, and based upon the amount that's being exchanged.
Okay. And then this same guy asked, apart from DIO, and are there any other security firms or security audits going to be happening with all of our assets?
Right now, we're just using our internal security engineers to do the audits. But as our budget situation improves, we'll go back and do more audits. We've made most of the contracts upgradable. There's a few that are so simple that we didn't think that they needed to be upgradable. So if we do find an audit issue, we will be able to upgrade the contract.
Okay. This one came up a couple times. When are we going to have the testnet faucet available for developers to start playing with applications?
That's a really good question here. Let me. We actually talked about that today, and it was paused. Here we go. So it's faucet.vitruveo.xyz. It's already there. We just looked at it today. It was paused because we did this before RC1. We will unpause it this weekend, and it will be available. Which, gosh, in all this, I completely forgot one of the most important things. We are now at RC2.
Oh, right. We are in RC2.
Yeah, and I was going to do a demo to show the deployed contract, the built-in precompiled contract. So this is actually a good sort of little Discord live we can do. I want to demonstrate what is in RC2 that is unique and important for developers in particular. So
Tuesday?
Yeah.
Tuesday?
Yeah, sometime we'll do it as quickly as possible. But folks, we are RC2, mainnet RC2 here. And the main change is we found everything mostly stable, not mostly, completely stable, and we deployed a precompiled contract. So the precompiled contract gives you rebasing information on chain inside your smart contract, which is necessary in a lot of use cases. But yeah, the faucet, I will make a note to make sure it is active this weekend. It's already stood up. It's got everything. We just paused it earlier and need to unpause it. So hopefully everyone can start developing, and do come at me with your development questions, etc. I'd love to help out, especially with anything related to rebasing, because I said we are done with our content, but this person asked a developer question. I want to take a small tangent and go show something. All right, real quick. Give me a moment. Sorry about taking these detours, but this is what makes these AMAs fun. All right. So the presentation, one of the presentations I did at Western was programmable money through art. And one of the topics was rebasing. I'm not sure everyone in the community really understands rebasing well. So what I'd like to do is just quickly take you through a few slides on rebasing, which I feel will be very helpful for a lot of people, right? So let's do that, okay? Real quick detour. So first of all, let's understand what is rebasing. So rebasing is the process by which a coin or token dynamically adjusts its supply based on some rules. So Vitruveo is the first protocol to have rebasing built in. You're going to have a lot of people say, no, that's not true, but they don't know their facts. Every protocol that has had any kind of rebasing has implemented it using a smart contract. We don't have any smart contracts with rebasing. This is baked right into Go Ethereum in the Go language, in the protocol, right? There's a big difference. So no one else has it. Vitruveo rebasing is like compound interest in a savings account. The coin supply increases if a daily transaction goal is achieved, effectively rewarding all the coin holders, right? So for creators, this is really important because this is about passive income. This is also important for crypto investors, of course. You have Vitru sitting in your account. Normally, you would have to stake it or do something like that. Not here. If you have Vitru sitting in your account, it will rebase and grow. So the transaction goal that we have for rebasing increases every day, so it's harder to achieve. But let's walk through the math of it real quick. So essentially we start off with 60 million, and we estimate it'll be about 5 years, and it'll grow to 250 million. So that's kind of what the 5-year circulating supply will be. So let's walk through it. All right. So the APR, the annual percentage rate, is 32. The term is 365 days, and the daily interest is that APR divided by 365 days, yeah. And so that gives you 0.087671. So the daily interest expressed as a percentage is that number divided by 100, and that's this tiny number, 0.000876. And that becomes our daily rebase multiplier. So you add 1 to it, and that number is what you multiply your balance by in order to figure out what your rebased balance is. So if there was 1 rebase and you had 1 Vitru in your account, it would have grown to 1.000876. Small number, but compounding. And you'll see how that changes things drastically. All right. So the algorithm here, I'm sorry for using jargon. It's not that complicated. Let's walk through it. All right. So if the daily transaction goal is achieved, calculate the rebase value by multiplying the current rebase multiplier by the daily rebase multiplier. That's a mouthful. Let's go through it. So let's say that on day 1, the multiplier is 1, right? Because nothing has been rebased yet. But now a rebase occurs. So you multiply. So here's day 1, 1. Day 2, you multiply 1 by the rebase multiplier, and you get 1.000876. Day 3, another rebase occurs. So you take that value from day 2 and you multiply it by the same thing again, 1.000876. And that gives you a new number. So you can see how this starts growing very quickly. And the simple fact that everyone needs to understand is that the protocol is not generating new coins or anything like that. It is simply looking at your balance, multiplying it by the rebase multiplier, and reporting that number to all the wallets and all of that. Now, that's no different than the protocol reporting that your balance it's the actual balance, right? It's the same thing, except what we are doing is we have added rebasing, so it's a multiplier that's added. So as far as every wallet, every smart contract, anything that looks at your account is concerned, they'll see the rebased value. So this is at the end of the day, coins are not like this. There's like, I don't know, a box of coins in the protocols, right? It's just a number, just like in your bank records, right? No, your cash is not kept as a stash of cash in a vault. It's just a number. And when you transfer funds from your account to another account, they just do that switch in the ledger. And that's exactly what's happening here. So this is rebase. And sorry for that quick detour, but I thought it would be helpful for people to understand that. And now we can go back to our regularly scheduled programming.
And we're back. Sure. Someone wanted an update on angel investors.
Yeah, I already mentioned it. I already said that we are waiting on getting the vesting. So I went through in detail about it, but I'll go through it again. Vitru Studio, Vitruscope rather, launches. We got the vesting contract. We can start issuing investors their tokens, whoever signed the SAFT, and that number, the booster number, income number, will start increasing. So we are waiting on that, and we'll get that done.
Here we get an art question. Are we looking for specifically art proposals, or are you looking for projects that covered the arts more generally?
Yeah, so let's post the link for the Da Vinci grant. I don't know if is in the audience or what, because we cover that in a lot of detail. I don't actually need to specify exactly, because it's very clear. The proposals, as I mentioned, are in 2 domains. One is that some good to society through art, and the other one is help artists. But I don't want to misspeak there. So let's get let's see if we can get the actual link to it. Give me a second. I'll look it up and I'll post it for you. One moment, please.
I believe it's in the Discord somewhere.
Yeah, it's in it's right here in our here we go. I got it. All right, so it's vitru.xyz/dream fun call. Give me a moment and I will copy it and paste it as a banner here, and you can visit that link. And one moment, please. All right. So it's vitru.xyz/dream fun call. Please go to that and you should have all the information you need.
Awesome.
All right.
To your friend Mike Purdy. Nick, I seem to remember that you saying that you need to keep the Vitro that was sacrificed from Oaksy needs to stay in the original sacrifice wallet to qualify for the staking revenue. Can you clarify?
Yeah. So basically, what we are doing in the in the staking contract is we are taking a snapshot of two sets of addresses. Everyone who sealed and everyone who is an original Uxie sacrificer. So we have all those addresses. Now, one change that we might make is we might make the sealed ones dynamic. We might put a flag in your NFT that you get that you sealed. In that case, your wallet would be okay. You could change that. But for the Uxie ones, they have to be the original wallet that we airdrop to. So we have a list of wallets we airdrop to, and those are the ones that we are going to essentially use for determining the staking. Now, one of the nice things we could do, which means more work for us, but we might end up doing, is allowing you to go into the contract and swap that address out. So if you change your wallet, you could do that. You could go in there with the old wallet, call a feature that says update, here's my new wallet, and do that. So we might do that. I can't guarantee that yet because that's going to add more time to it. But you are correct in what you said.
Cool. Vitroscope question: what will happen if I claim only every 3 months in Vitroscope? Will tokens get compounded?
You do not need to claim on any frequency. There are no detrimental actions, events that happen if you don't claim. You can come back in 10 years and claim, and everything that you're supposed to claim will be there waiting for you. You can come back in 100 years, hopefully, and well, I don't know.
100 years?
Around.
I'll be dead by then.
But what I'm saying is it's perpetual. There is no onus on anyone to claim at any time. Whenever you feel like it, you claim, and it'll calculate what's due to you and give it to you. I like that Crypto Sisters 24. That was an interesting handle.
Will you be using Tether as the stablecoin to swap on the DEX?
Yeah, we are trying to get approved right now for a stablecoin. So it depends on. There's basically USDC, USDT, and DAI, right? So we'll figure out one of those. Now, one thing is on Mexi, our pair is going to be USDT Vitro.
How is the weather in Michigan? It's a little warmer now. It's like 27 degrees Fahrenheit right now. But while Nick was here, he brought the cold with him, and walking from building to building, which we would maybe be outside for about 15 seconds, your mustache hairs would freeze. That's how cold it was.
It was sunny, but cold. And I am very fortunate it was not snowing. Like there was a ton of accumulation, but it did snow. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, it's not weather that I look forward to.
Okay. All right, we got through all the starred ones. Let's see any of these live ones that we need to bring out.
We can go through all of these. I see a bunch of them.
Yeah. I'm just trying to see where I left off and which ones aren't repeats.
Wow, there are so many.
I know. Someone's asking if we can extend the swapper for a couple hours after the AMA because they didn't realize the additional benefits to sealing.
Yes, we'll let it go to the end of the day. All right, so I'll reactivate it and we'll let it go to the end of the day.
Okay, that will get some of these questions out of here. When can we expect the bridge to be done?
Yeah, so the bridge, actually, we just had a conversation with the engineering team this morning. First of all, bridge is very expensive and also complicated. So ideally, we're working with one of our investors to sort of get work on wormhole. So if we can get that, then it solves the problem quickly and easily for us. But I can't give you an ETA on that because I need to look at capital availability on that first. So that's one thing. But we recognize that it's important. We need to get it done. So there's not going to be any dilly-dallying on that. As soon as it's practical and prudent for us to, financially prudent for us to get it done, we'll get it done. So we're not dragging our feet on that. We know we need the bridge.
Can we send our Uxie coins to the Seal the Deal wallet as the same as the rev share?
I'm trying to understand the question better. Let's see.
I think. Can you clarify?
Yeah,
Teddy?
please clarify that question, Teddy.
Yeah. Okay, boom. If people buy Vitro later on the market and stake it, it is eligible for these extra. Vitro increases their pro rata to 0.05% rev share.
Yeah, you basically on your account, your wallet is flagged of whether you earn that 0.5 or not. So the more you stake, the more you earn. And so wherever you get that Vitro from is immaterial. But the answer is yes. Yeah.
And then we didn't really address this one, but the support ticket issue, the validator node ticket, when it comes to switching out coins, we talked about it this week. I know we didn't talk about it today, but there will be a function in Vitroscope for those who are validators who want to move coins out of the.
Yeah, we'll so basically between now and launching Vitruscope, we're gonna do some housekeeping and resolve as many issues as people come to us with BTC, validator, etc. We really with the swapper, the validator stuff did work, but only a few people did it. A lot of people were trying to move from a node that has from an account that has validator to another account that has validator, and that never works. So that was a problem. So we need to do some housekeeping on that and get things in order. So we have probably, I don't know, a few days to get that done. We'll get it done. But you and I talked, Zach, about a feature in Vitruscope where we would allow swapper-like behavior for validators in Vitruscope. So if you have a validator core NFT and you've got coins in it, in Vitruscope, we could allow you to hit transfer and move those coins to another wallet. So I say that I'm 90% in agreement with that feature. I just want to think through it again to make sure that there's no gotchas to it, right? But unless there's no gotchas to it, I don't see any reason why you got a validator NFT. It has coins in it. Why not transfer it to, and we'll auto-generate a Nexus NFT for you, and you can put them in there. So we might end up doing that. But meanwhile, we have a few more days. We'll try and resolve tickets as much as possible. But we do need to do a level set, Zach. So I think what you may want to do is get rid of all the tickets until this point, and then ask people who still have an issue to generate a new ticket. And I apologize for that, but otherwise there's 1,500 tickets. We'll we'll never be able to get to the issues correctly,
We're at like 1650 now. We've set since, or in the last 17 days, we've done over 650 tickets.
Yeah, so I think we might like keep, from a few days back, like I don't know, from Wednesday or something like that. But prior to that, I think we need to kind of purge those and just request that people generate a new ticket, just so that they'll rise to the top and we can give them the attention that they need. So let's do a bit of housekeeping on that. And I truly apologize if you have to submit information twice, but the volume is manually a little challenging for our little team.
And one thing, if you open a ticket, do not just leave it open. If you have an issue, go in there and state why you're opening a ticket, because you are at the bottom of the pile if you just open a ticket and think that someone's going to just greet you and say, hey, how you doing? We have over 350 active tickets right now. So please tell us what's going on and how we can help you. Give us your transaction IDs, your wallet IDs, or your wallet addresses. Any sort of information that we can look at, we need. Like, so send us paragraphs worth of information. Do not threaten our moderators, because that's happened a few times. Just do not do that. Yeah, we'll get to you as soon as we can. We actually just added a couple of the community mods to come in and help with frequently asked questions in those as well. Shout out Essa. Cool. Let's see. And then we have an ask about regarding validators in the KYC and onboarding.
Yeah. So when Baron and I last met, we looked at the Synapse platform, and it would be manually too cumbersome for the VTech team to generate a KYC URL for each validator. So our solution was, when we do the validator NFT drop, it will have a button there for KYC. It will dynamically generate a link to Synapse. You go do your KYC, and it'll report it back and store that in your NFT that you've done your KYC. So that's coming here very quickly. Some of these things, we basically have to prioritize, because everything everyone wants right away, but there are some things that are sort of that are more important than others because they have dependencies around exchanges and things like that. So we're trying to tackle those first. And right now, the validator issue is pretty much very high on the list, because we want to start scaling up the network very, very fast. And we've reached the point where it wasn't necessary until now, but now it's necessary. So you're going to see more activity on the validator front starting this week. Absolutely.
Right on. Let's see. Should you submit a new ticket? Go ahead. We're just going to click on the other ones. Yeah, go for it.
Yes. So continuity is important. And one of the things that I pretty much force the team to do with regard to things like passwords, access keys, etc., is we use a one password system for it, so that if I'm gone, we can, other people still have access to things, etc. So that is, it's not an awkward question. It's actually a very serious business question. A lot of businesses don't take care of it, and you don't want to be in a situation where things grind to a halt because something happens to a person. So yeah, I hope nothing happens to me, but if it happens, my benchmark sort of as an entrepreneur and as a leader is to always create teams that don't rely on me, because then I know I have done good. I have hired the right people, and I've built a team that is self-reliant and doesn't need me. Of course, you don't want to be useless. I don't want to be useless, but at the same time, I want to make sure that things go on. But very good question.
But God forbid. Sorry.
Okay, so here Biz asks, for those that staked 200 Vitro, then unstake, sell, then buy back 500 more and restake, Will they only qualify for the full 500 or limited to the 200 once again? So the algorithm is dynamic. Basically, you have to think about it like this. In the contract, you have a certain amount of Vitro staked. Whatever happens during that period of time, whether it's incoming fees, whether it's airdrops, whatever it is, all depend on whatever is there at that current point in time. Now you change it, that's fine. Anything that comes in during that new revised period, stake you have is what will be computed. So you are free to stake, unstake, do whatever you want, but the benefits are only available to you based upon the number staked at any point of time. So let's say a DEX fee comes in, that DEX fee, your share of it will be based upon that moment of time, how much you have staked. So what you had before that fee came in and what you had after that fee came in are irrelevant. It's at that point in time when the fee comes in is how your share is determined. All right. Let's see what else we got here.
Someone asking about, is the MXC listing pushed through on the 23rd?
Unlikely. Like I said, we are still waiting on the finishing of the node integration. So we'll give a firm date as soon as we have it. Right now, the contract's done. It's all been paid up. Now it's just a matter of execution. We just please understand that we're not listing a token on Ethereum. We are listing a new protocol and then a new token. So the exchange has to get the new protocol integration done. And this is our very first one. In fact, it's our very first anything outside our little ecosystem. So there's some little growing pains there, but some learning that happens. And once that happens, now the next one we can go. We'll say, here, this is how you do it. Bam, and it'll be fast.
Regarding the Vitru perks for Vitro stakers with 24 months vesting, how will it work if you unstake and restake?
I'm just trying to wrap my head around the question. So this is about the perks for staking. Yeah. So the same way, it's about incoming perks, right? The perks come in whenever there's a rebase. So they come in a lump sum based on whatever's vested to that point. So it would be your pro rata share of that when you're staked. Now, Oro, this is a question I need to think about a little bit because I don't want to give an off-the-cuff answer that is mathematically inaccurate. So I'm going to take this as a to-do and reply to you in the Discord, please, because this one, it's a tricky one. I don't know if you can see it, Zach, but the vesting accumulates but does not come into the pool until a rebase occurs. So the question is, if you were staked at the point of vesting, but it hasn't yet rebased and transferred in, are you still eligible for it? That's it could go either. It's a fair. It seems simple, but it is a complicated question. So please give me some time to. I'll actually just take a screenshot because otherwise I'll do that real quick. I will respond to this in the Discord. Okay.
Cool. I think that about wraps it up. And you have a Twitter space to get to in a few minutes.
Yeah. So, Oro, this is about rebase because perks do not enter the pool until there's a rebase. So, whether your question has the word rebase in it or not, it is implicitly about rebase because perks are not available to anybody until a rebase occurs. And then it goes and looks and sees what has vested from the perks vault and transfers it into the perks pool. So it is dependent on that. All right. So there's going to continue to be lots of lots of questions, but my hope is that as we get into the engineering of it and the detail of it, we'll have the answers, because we will think through this. We'll think through those problems and solve them. And so some of these things are currently business requirements, but then you translate those business requirements into technical requirements, then you have a clear-cut black and white solution of what it is. So we'll attempt to get there as quickly as possible.
And so, Nick, actually, so fun fact, today's download had the most viewers we've ever had live.
Woohoo!
Yeah,
Thank you, everyone. Excited.
215. I think last week we were at 202, so we had a few more. I think we might have had a little bit more than that, but
Where are all the artist questions? I'm not seeing too many artist questions. Artists, are you not asking? Do you have any questions?
Other than the proposal one, that's the only one I saw.
What? All right. Well, next time we will present more artist-related stuff. So I think we'll get more questions then. Yeah, I see a lot of questions. All right, cool. Well, so Zid, in another 20 minutes, I'm back on another live, this time on Twitter Space, X Space, answering questions with artists. So yes, I have a note. I will be going and doing that right now. I will extend the swapper. We'll go and unlock it, and we'll do that. All right. So Aris has where is it? Where is this question? Just saw it. So yes, our goal is to make it mobile responsive. It will be. It may not be on version 0.5 as it is right now, but over time it will be, because it does require lots of extra testing and all that to make it. And we are well aware that a large number of artists only have a mobile device. Some of them just have a mobile phone that they do everything with. So we want to meet them there. So, all right, I will sign off here. And the first thing I will do is go unlock a swapper, so Yaz is happy.
Get you a hot cup of chai and onto the Twitter Space.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend. And I'll catch you on Discord and answer, I'm sure, lots of questions that come up. But we are making excellent progress. I hope you can see that. I hope you can see the manifestation of all the things we've been talking about gradually come to life. This is tech, and it's all virtual, but it's still, you can see things in your browser, etc. And I'm excited. I'm really, really excited. But thank you so much. Appreciate your support, and catch you here next week. Yep. Bye-bye.